Hey,
Ready?
ready?
All right, let's go.
All right. So every so often, about every year or year and a half, I would get the bug to look into family history, specifically family history on my dad's father's side. So, like on my mom's side, we kind of knew a pretty good amount. Like my mom's mother, she was originally from Illinois. She went to art school. That's kind of where we've always kind of attributed the artistic side of the family is from Phyllis. Someone in the Price family married a Gish, and this Gish was a cousin to the famous silent movie star Lillian Gish. Also, someone in that family traveled around what was then the United States, and he kept a journal of all of the interesting stuff that he came across. And one of those things was he met this guy who was like a young lawyer, and he thought he was interesting, and so he wrote him down in his journal. And that guy turned out to be Abraham Lincoln. But on my dad's father's side, there's like this huge blank spot. Let me describe the tree. So there's me, Jacob. There's Pop, Bobby. There's his father, Ford, and then there's his father, Miles. And that's where the mystery kind of begins. When I was a kid, only knew like a very few little things about Miles, and we didn't really know hardly anything of what came before Miles. Like I knew that Miles's father's name was Jacob, but he went by Jake. I knew that something had happened with Miles's mom, and Jake got remarried. And apparently, his new wife did not like Miles at all. So Miles had enough at age 12, ran away from home, joined up with a cowboy crew, and broke horses for a living. The next thing that we knew is, or I was told, especially as a young kid or whatever, was Miles was a constable in Winfield in Wynn Parish. That's about it. There's got to be something else there. So I would just kind of see and poke around and utilize some of the knowledge that I had from back in my journalism days to see what information I could just find on the internet. And so that's what I did. And I would just kind of, granted, there's not a lot. Started looking, digging deeper. I found out who Miles's mom was. Her name was Sarah Melson. That's kind of where I stopped with it all, with that side of the family, because I feel like there is more information that I felt like there was more information that was still like a big mystery, and that was Miles. Then about that time is whenever I found out about his sister, Katie, and her death year. Shortly thereafter, he married Lily Renfro, who is my great-great-grandmother. And at some point, they had 2 kids. They moved down to Shreveport. They had Ford. And then at some point, they moved to Wynn Parish. And he actually was a constable. I actually looked up in Wynn Parish, like a list of all the constables and when they served and everything, and found that, yep, he was a constable and he served for a term. And then did some digging recently at my mom's house and found out that he eventually became a sheriff's deputy. So there's still a big mystery, but it's like we know a lot more. And I was just it was kind of nice to know that like some of the stuff that was told to us, or especially when we were kids, like it all like fit. I guess the main reason that the power side intrigued me so much was, one, well, that's my last name, and 2, my great grandfather ran away from home at 12 and joined up with a cowboy crew. It's like, what? And I was like, well, what happened after that? And it's always been, I don't know,